Hello, influencers. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Behind the Screen Business Confessions with your girl, Anika Cohen. Listen, this is another amazing episode with real, raw conversation to motivate our leaders around the world to support you and motivate you, right? To keep going. Choose to live. Come on here. So, welcome to this show. This is the show where we choose to live. We choose to be liberated, improve daily, be vivacious, and enlightened. And so, today, I want to talk about while you serve in business, don't forget about this, right? And the this that I'm referring to is you. You are important. You are important. And I don't say that because you don't know it. You know exactly who you are and becoming. You know you have an assignment that is greater and bigger than you. And you decided to say yes to serving your audience, to serving your community. Come on here, to serving. Right. But in serving, I don't want you to forget about you. And it's very easy to forget about you and not put you on the calendar intentionally, not on your birthday, not on an anniversary. Come on here, somebody, not when you're invited to celebrate with your peers, with your loved ones. I'm talking about taking care of your well-being emotionally, mentally, physically, not forgetting about you. And it is so easy to forget about you because you take care of so many. You're a mother, you're a father, you are in your career, you are an entrepreneur. You serve in different capacities in your community. Come on here, somebody. So there are many responsibilities that you fulfill in life, right? And when we allow ourselves to become consumed with the assignment and not giving ourselves permission to unwind, to release, to simply let go, because you're human. So you have feelings, you have emotions, you have thoughts, and we cannot forget about ourselves as entrepreneurs in the marketplace. It's essential to your success in the marketplace that you put yourself on the calendar, that you take care of your mental and emotional well-being. Come on here, somebody. So I want to talk about this because I believe that it's a real conversation that we must have as leaders in the marketplace, as entrepreneurs, because it's one thing to say yes to your assignment, but it's another thing to lose your identity in the process. Some of us are losing our identity. We're losing our sense of value. We're losing who we are and what God called us to do because now we've stepped into the position of doubt. And I'm going to tell you how that begins to show up when you're not intentionally taking care of your well-being, when you're not intentionally taking care of self. Again, this is outside of your external being, your nails, your pedicure, your hair did, right? Your getaways, your vacations. I'm talking about a day to day. Come on here, somebody. I'm talking about day to day, dealing with your core, dealing with your internal being. It matters when you are in business, and we cannot forget to take care of ourselves. So I don't want you to forget about you because you matter. You are important, and you cannot serve from an empty well. You have to be replenished. You have to be strengthened. You have to be renewed. Come on here, somebody. So I want to give you 5 tips. Again, y'all already know these are practical tips that I am sharing with you that you can begin to shift and change how you show up every day. Because some of you are exhausted behind the screen. You show up with a smile, you show up with grace, you show up with poise, but behind the screen, you're exhausted, you're frustrated, you are literally overwhelmed because of what's going on in your life. what's going on in your life. Again, you are a woman or a man, you have many responsibilities to fulfill, but you got to give yourself grace, and you got to give yourself permission to release, to simply let go, to unwind, and do it as many times as necessary. That's why self-care and love is essential to your success in the marketplace. Yes, it is. Your success is essential, and it has everything to do with your well-being. So let's talk about that. If you find yourself in these spaces often, then we need to do a little bit more of the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you. Again, you can get started today. You don't have to wait until tomorrow. You don't have to wait till New Year's Eve. You don't have to wait till the New Year's to begin to create your resolutions. No, you can start now. Your new year is today. Choose to live. Come on here, somebody. Choose to live. Choose to be liberated. Improve daily. Be vivacious and enlightened. Because here's what I know to be true. I'm a mother of 4 children. I'm a single mother of 4 children. I have a day-to-day job that I do in my career. I am a substance abuse mental health counselor by trade. This is what I'm called to do, right? However, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mother, right? I am a minister. There are many responsibilities that go along with those titles, with those roles that I fulfill. So sometimes I can get stretched thin. Sometimes I can become overwhelmed. And when I become overwhelmed and when I become extended, that's when we have a problem, because I'm not taking care of my well-being. And some of us, it's going to simply start by saying no. You don't have to say no exactly like that for those of you who struggle with creating boundaries for yourself, but not at this time. I'm unavailable. Let me check my calendar and see if I'm able to commit to that. So let's talk about these tips. While you serve in business, don't forget about you. Tip number 1 is be a student first. You are always in a position to learn. So although you are the expert, right? Although you are the go-to person, you have a solution. It doesn't mean you have to know everything. Come on here, somebody. You are an expert in what it is that you have mastered, what it is that you have learned. So be a student first. Whatever you struggle with, whatever is not your strong points, whatever is not your strengths, you can work at it. You can work at developing your strengths. You can work at that. So be a student first and allow yourself a little bit of grace to say, I don't have to know it all. But what you do know, that's enough. And what you don't know, ask for help. Be a student first. Ask and you shall find. Seek. Hold on, I'm saying the scripture wrong. Hold on. Knock and the door shall be open unto you. Seek and you shall find. Come on here, somebody. So ask for help. Seek a mentor, seek a coach that can add value to your life. What is value? It's the answer to your problem. It's the resolution that you need. So be a student. Allow yourself to learn what it is that you don't know and develop and build upon that strength. Because you don't have to know everything. That's tip number 1. Be a student first. Ask for help. Reach out. It takes nothing from you. It doesn't take away from your expertise. It doesn't take away from your knowledge. It doesn't take away from your greatness and your success. Come on here, somebody. You still are successful. You still are an expert. However, you're building upon your strength. So that leads me to tip number 2. We can't forget about ourselves. We have to change our perspective. When you change your perspective, you will change your life. Somebody needs to type that in the comment section. When you change your perspective, you will change your life. Why? Because it's no longer about right or wrong. And I believe that's where a lot of us get caught up at. Mentally, we get stuck there with the right or wrong. We begin to question our strategies. We begin to question what it is that we are doing in the marketplace because we're not producing the results that we would like as fast as we would like. Right. And so when those things are happening, you begin to doubt, you begin to question, especially I talk from experience when things are going on in my world, when my children are acting out, when things are going on in my world. Again, I'm a mother of 4. So when my teenagers start making poor choices, I begin to question my motherhood. That can affect my business, right? So there was a time when especially when I first got started in business, there was a time where, listen, I'm just getting started. I published my first memoir, Diaries of an Elect Lady. I was this bestseller author on Amazon. This is all new to me. This is a new experience. I had taken the risk. I said yes. I published the book, and I'm following my coach's blueprint. I'm following the instructions. But there came a time when life began to happen. Come on here. Life is starting to happen. Okay. Life is happening. And it begins to get chaotic. I lose my full-time job. I'm now working part-time. So the income has shifted. And so the money that I was able to invest in my business, now there's a shift. There's limitation. And I still got to feed my household. I still got to feed my children. I still got to show up for them. Come on here, somebody. So there was a struggle. There was decisions that had to be made. Nika, you're investing so much into this business. What about your household? So I had to begin to change my perspective. I had to begin to think about my priorities and what mattered most to me and think long term instead of thinking about the here and now. Yes, my here and now said we were in a struggle. So I had to begin to make provision. I had to begin to shift my spending habits. I had to begin to look at what it is I have to work with and make some choices. What am I willing to go without? Do I really need the cable? Come on, that's real talk. Those were some beginning stages for me. And I know I can't be the only one who had to make some hard decisions because I know that this vision is not about me. It's about purpose. It's about purpose. This is what I'm called to do. So once I found my voice, once I found my purpose and my identity, I owed it to God because I made him a promise. In 2007, I made him a promise that I would do something different. So in me doing something different, I can't give up now. So there was choices that I had to make, and I had to change my perspective. I had to change my outlook on life and how I show up for my family. So there was decisions that had to be made. We went without cable. It's not important right now. Because I got a business, I got a brand, I got a legacy to build. So there was choices that had to be made. And even for those of you who have been in business for a while, right? You've been in business, you started the business, but now things are slowing up. So you begin to question your strategies. Am I doing it right? Things have begun to slow down. Am I doing it right? I'm not producing the results that I was producing. What is going wrong? What am I doing wrong? Come on here, somebody. That's the dialogue that we have within ourselves. When things begin to shift in our world, when things begin to take a turn. And if we don't become conscious and aware of the thoughts, the feelings, the behaviors that are associated with those emotions, right? We will get lost. We will get consumed. We will get stuck. But we choose to live today. We choose to live. We choose to be liberated, improve daily, be vivacious and enlightened. So change your perspective, because it's not about right or wrong. It's about preference. It's about what your audience responds to. It's about how you engage and interact with your audience and what they respond to. So once you master that, once you are able to track, assess, and adjust, come on here. But it takes time. It takes discipline. So you got to give yourself grace. Change your perspective and you will change your life. Because this is a journey and you're living it out intentionally. So stop questioning, am I doing something wrong? What if I told you you're not doing anything wrong? You just got to clean up your internal dialogue. You got to become conscious and aware of what's going on within you. Number 3, track your progress. Again, TAA, track, assess, and address. Track your progress in the marketplace. It's one of the simplest strategies that I do. I love going back and watching the journey. I love going back and reflecting, because that tells me a story in itself. It shows me how far I came. My God. When's the last time you went back? When's the last time you went back to the beginning where it all started? I can guarantee you one thing for sure. You will see progress. You will see success. You will see how far you have come and what you have overcome. Come on here. I have overcome many things, and I'm still in a position of growing and evolving and maturing as a woman, as an entrepreneur, because I've learned and I'm learning that I don't have to know everything. But what I do know, what I have mastered, that's enough. So, influencers, let's recap for a moment. Be a student first. Be open to learning what you don't know and build upon your strengths. Number 2, change your perspective, because it's not about right or wrong. It's about preference. It's about what works for you and your audience. Number 3, you have to track your progress. And as you track your progress, you will see how far you have overcome. You will see how much you have grown. And those are the moments that we need to take more time to celebrate. Here's the thing. Here's what I've learned, and I'm learning, right? Is working with leaders, working with people day after day. We celebrate for a moment. We celebrate our birthday. We celebrate our anniversaries. We even celebrate milestones that we have achieved in life, right? But we celebrate it for a moment, meaning after the celebration, we just move right along. We continue to move forward. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't forget about what you have achieved. Don't forget about what it took for you to achieve it anyway. It took sacrifice. It took discipline. It took you being committed. Don't forget about that. So we have to celebrate daily. And celebration doesn't have to be elaborate. Celebration could be, I'm proud of you, Anika. I see you, Anika. Go ahead, girl. It could be a date night with yourself, by yourself, loving on yourself. It could be a massage, right? Just you and I. Those intimate moments with yourself, you loving on yourself. So track your progress. Tip number 4, know when to step away. Know when to step away and make no apologies for stepping away. But when you do step away, make sure you have a strategy, a plan in place if you can. Because I know for me, when it came to my health, there were certain times when that was not even possible because I was literally unable to create my content, to create my reels. Although I could have used some throwbacks, I could have used repurposed videos and reels and things like that. But when I tell you there was a period of literally 2 months, I barely had any energy to walk from my car to my front door. It took all the energy I had just to get out of bed. But I had to give myself grace and do what I can, knowing that I'm doing my best. Again, changing my perspective, not allowing myself to compare and compete. Subconsciously, we can do that. We we can subconsciously be in competition with our peers because of our own internal unresolved mess. So know when to step away. Know when to step away. And number 5, practice self-care and love. I already talked about that a little bit. Again, loving on you is essential to your growth and success as an entrepreneur. I believe that. Your personal development, your 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 personal well-being, it is in alignment with your business. Regardless if you are a service-based entrepreneur or you have products, the business is nothing without you. So when your well-being is affected, when your well-being is not at peace, when your well-being is disturbed, it will affect your business. So we have to practice self-care and love, and we have to do it daily. Daily. A date night with yourself, to yourself. Come on here. Treating yourself more. Again, let's not be closed-minded. Let's not feel as though it has to look like someone else's self-care based on what we see on social media. That's a real talk. It doesn't have to be an international trip or a getaway. Doesn't have to be an elaborate vacation. It can be in your local area, a getaway at a nice hotel, nice restaurant, right? Or just in your own space, in your home, creating that ambiance. Nice candlelit bath, right? So practice self-care and love beyond your external appearance. I want you to focus on your internal being because that's essential to your success as an entrepreneur. So influencers, I want you to choose to live. I want you to choose to live. Choose to be liberated, improve daily, be vivacious and enlightened. So listen, if you are new to the show, go ahead, subscribe, like and subscribe. We choose to live here. Okay. And you can catch us here every day. Not every day, sorry. Every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us here every Sunday where we have real raw conversations to motivate and support leaders in the marketplace. So choose to live. Until next time.